Check, check. 1, 2. All right. Welcome to anyone that might be joining me for today's impromptu stream. As the title suggests, we will be taking the newly released A320 NEO by the Inibuilds team. I think it's in collaboration with Asobo, as this aircraft is included for free after the latest sim update 15, I believe. So as you can see, we're currently in the Air Portugal colors, positioned at Lisbon, and we'll make for a sort of brief hop over a bit of ocean to the island of Palma, I believe. So without wasting further time, let's jump right into the aircraft. Oops, wrong button. Okay. So first impressions, flight, as mentioned. So just a quick little look around here. Nice and sharp textures. Imaging, modeling, very nice. You can see we've got, it's probably a button behind the wall that we can click there. I don't think it's anything clickable on the actual galley there. And we've got a nice screen here. Probably customizable imagery there if you know how to do it. Work with that sort of thing, but otherwise, yeah, very nice, very neat. Jumping back into the cockpit here. Let's close the door and see if there's any change in the sounds here. No. And I wonder, can we open up the... Yes, we can. It does sound like there's some additional sounds coming up as we do that. So we'll keep the window open for now and get the aircraft set up here for the flight, or start setting things up here for the flight. So battery 1 and 2. So I've got my sounds relatively loud because I really want to enjoy them and take it all in. So if you can't hear me, well, we'll try and sort that out at some point. Okay, we've already got a light flashing at us here, fire light here from the APU. Don't know if that's just a normal part of the normal startup sequence here. It's not flashing anymore. We've got external power, so we'll go ahead and connect to that. Ooh, very nice. Ooh, not bad. Always nice to have a new sound set to play around with. Okay, that is a little bit loud. Let's bring it down a little bit here. cruise supply come on and ground control come on. So for those that do not know, my Airbus experience is pretty much limited to the Phoenix A320. So I'll base how I fly this aircraft on my knowledge of how to fly the Phoenix A320. As far as I know, not many huge differences apart from the engine type. I think there are some subtle changes as far as the flight control logic is concerned, and a few other sort of less noticeable system tweaks and whatnot. Am I talking? Yeah, okay. Thought my mic was off there for a second. Alright, let's initialize the INS here. We'll be proper. Do them in sequence, IRS-1 or IR-2. On that test, light comes on and must come up. There we go, and same for number 3. Great. What I normally like to do before I actually even do that is just get the annunciator lights tested. Great. And debut. Let's get the fire tests out of the way. I haven't actually checked what my settings are like with after the new system update. So my graphics, that's interesting. So my graphics settings might not be what they normally are. Again, impromptu stream here. Alright, so initialization. Wait for system response. Okay. It would probably be a good idea to, well, actually, so that you guys can follow along, let's go and retrieve the flight plan here. So LPPT, LPMA. I'll admit this is a little bit of a gutsy flight to do for the first flight in this aircraft, but like I said, I anticipate there not being too many differences. I'm going to go cost index 50 despite the fact that it was put as 5, and we will look at the performance figures for that later. Bless you. Cruise altitude is going to be 370. We go to the weather here. Top of climb temperature is minus 55. Let's go ahead and align on ref. I'm not sure if that gets done automatically or not, but we're going to go ahead and do it manually. Am I missing something? Not letting me align on ref. Alright, we're going to assume it's doing that automatically. As always, I am online, so we will be performing a flight on the Vanson network just for a little bit of extra immersion, even though there might not be any air traffic control online. Let's test the radios here quickly. Check, check.
Check, check.
1, 2, check.
1, 2, check.
I hope you guys can hear that. So 1228. I like having the second radio on 1215. And for like an uncontrolled IFR flight, I believe it used to be that this was sort of the standard transponder setting for that on the Vanson network. What's this? We have even a weather radar here. Oh, I believe there is like a next generation weather radar is actually simulated here. Call up the flight plan here on my tablet here in reality. probably would be a good idea to start the boarding process. So let's get that going here. Request. Let's do the refueling first.
Is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and asked to do it.
Otherwise, I mean, the graphics are really nice in terms of texturing, modeling here. We're going to go ahead and actually turn on the see the fan blades are windmilling. Might as well actually turn on the APU and hear what that sounds like. Up there's someone landing there in the background. Let's do that. Let's go APU master. I believe we gotta wait for the APU door light as we would.
Please don't load
Alright, the truck's
aircraft
underneath the
until
wing
fuel
there.
truck arrives and asked to do it.
Import flight from SimBrief. That never gets old, actually seeing the staff walking around at a ground crew. Let's start the APU. Let's first check for that APU flap open light and then start the APU. And let's have a listen here on the outside. Customary APU listen. That's it? I believe so. We're going to just reduce the volume here a little bit more. Looks like it sounds like the APU's just come online. Okay, my pet peeve is not having really nice, loud APU sounds. But what are you going to do? It's okay, it sounds okay. Alright, so nav accuracy has apparently been upgraded, so hopefully the alignment took place correctly. Go ahead and feed in the flight plan information here. So, we are planning on departing runway 02 with the Oldbot 1 X-ray departure. There it is. There's going to be a transition or anything, so insert that. From Allbot, we'll go to the airways. Oh no, it won't be an airway. It will be, my bad, it will just straight be a direct to Narta. I mean, yeah, we'll take the closest one. We're not flying that far. Insert. And then from Narta, we can actually access the airway. Use it 1-4, uniform Zulu 1-4 to Lidro. Insert that. We've already stitched together a flight plan here for us. We're going to do the Lidro 1 Papa arrival. Oh, well. The weather's changed. Alright, so we'll leave that open to interpretation for now. Changed runways quite aggressively, so was favoring 2-3 when I was planning, but now there's an 11 knot tailwind for runway 2-3, so we will have to reassess that on the way. Speaking of weather, the weather for Lisbon, Cabo K, winds 320 at 9, variable between 290 and 360, 29 degrees Celsius with a dew point of 14 degrees and a QNH of 1016. Set all over. We're going to go straight to, I think we're just going to set it to our cruise altitude if there's no air traffic control online, which currently there is not. Alright. Let's continue. Also this tablet, I haven't used this before. Let's see what's up with this tablet. Are they still refueling? Yes. So hold off on the cargo doors. So I'm not sure how to use this guy. Figure it out together here. So OFP, we're not going to be able to download it because I don't actually have my SimBrief pilot ID in it. What is that? That, or is that my username? Metric, real, link instruments. Yeah, let's just link them all. Rudder controls, the tiller, no. Water tiller, disconnect, yes, I guess. Use zero fuel weight entry. I mean, why not? Instead of packs, yeah, that's better. We'll do keep it like that. Default, let's make it 1,000. Disabled. Reset brake temp, throttle settings. What do we have here? Reverse axis. Reverse on axis. Nah. Begin calibration. Set idle. Set climb. I don't have a guess it's over there. Set climb thrust. Flex. Toga. Alright, that's the throttle settings. Let's see if we can actually get my OFP now. Yeah, I don't think that's it. So I'm going to have to now go to SimBrief and figure out what it is. Or is it on my... Can I actually view it on the OFP? This thing has settings. Yeah, it's a username, so it's not the thing we're looking for. It's that number. Come on, OFP. Why is everything so slow? So yeah, if the stream quality sucks, it's probably because my internet sucks today. Very temperamental here where I live. Just want to quickly look through the OFP here. See if I can find... If it's there, it's not obviously there, so I'm going to have to quickly go to SimBrief. And SimBrief has been very glitchy today, I don't know why. Let's see if I can do that quickly before it starts to glitch out on me. Account settings, come on. Don't glitch out on me. There's performance tools section now, which is quite cool. Kind of nice to check out, but not today. Alright, there it is, 7680. Why are we not taking 8? There we go. 0. Alright, let's try again. OFP. Come on. There we go. So, ground. Are we now done refueling? Not yet. Are we even refueling? No, don't think so. Loading config. Got a payload here. Can we? Yeah, we can sim brief it. There we go. And we'll go ahead and apply load. Let's do up to 5 minutes for now. 40 minutes is a bit long. It's doing the payload first for some reason. But now I see the fuel has actually been automatically loaded. So let's just reset the position here. And we'll just go straight to loading the passengers. Right? Right. Panel state, called dark, on GPU. I'm gonna check that we are on GPU. We can come off external power and we can actually go ahead and turn on the bleeds. And see if there's a nice sound effect for that. We're gonna go ahead and close this bad boy. Oh, okay, there you go. So there's a nice little external sound that accompanies opening the window. So it looks like you got a quick little setting there for your configuration. I had an alternate set here. I don't know why that didn't translate. Where's the alternate? GCLA. Oh, it doesn't want to put that in there. Okay. Whatever. OFP's there. Ground. So let's open up the cargo doors. Preparation for the request boarding. Alright. Payload has been applied. Tells me. Oh, does that mean it's done the 5-minute load? Okay, whatever. We'll just. Okay. Alright, and we gotta take off performance right over there. So nobody, as in none of the crew, but they'll be on board already. Passengers should be boarding. Might be able to see them. It's just worth a check. I don't expect circuit breakers to be simulated. Oh, there they are. There they come. All right, great. So they're all starting to board. What? Why is there a fueling truck here again? Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Frames are pretty rough here at this airport. It's a very detailed airport. So I'm gonna quickly step away for a few minutes. So I'll be back. I'll leave you to watch the refuelers do their thing. And I just want to check the sound and whatnot, and I'll get back to you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. So the volume sounds like it's okay. Speaking of volume, I just realized I can't really knock Inibuilds for soft APU sounds, as I remember hearing one time from another streamer. One who's actually a successful streamer. He mentioned that I think it's Asobo and or Microsoft have strict rules with how loud, obviously, the sounds of the aircraft in-game can be. So that's probably why the APU is not much louder than anything else here. So yeah, we are taking quite a long time. I'm realizing this. I don't think the fuel system thing is working, so we're just going to reset it again and just go straight into the pushback. But for now, let us get the stuff in here. So the zero fuel is 57.7, which correlates with our OFP. So actually, before we do that, let's just call up the winds. Can we do that? No? How do we call up the winds? There's no way to actually automatically pull them up. Guess not. Alright, anyway, so moving right along. So it's 577. And do we have a zero fuel weight CG here anywhere? Fuel needs to be 19. Is that pounds? That's kilograms, a lot of fuel. Let's apply this load, instant. I don't know why. Yeah, that's not making sense, because that's not matching for some reason. Oh, that's max. Yeah, 6.4. Okay, my bad. All right. Zero fuel weight. Where's the CG? There it is. 29.2. Our block fuel is 6.5. We'll make it for now. It's a little bit less. Probably thanks to the APU. No one else around here? No. Now we can go straight to the performance page here. Actually, let's takeoff performance. It's going to be runway 02 still. Dry. The wind is. Let's pull up the weather here. Still 320 at 9. I don't know what the format must be like. I'm assuming it's like that. Temperature is 29 degrees still. The altimeter is 1016 still. Our total weight, I believe we can actually grab it from the aircraft here. Oh, it doesn't have it yet. What's our total weight? Does that not actually get put in somewhere? I mean, we could just add them, I guess. But my math sucks. Let's see. 57.7 plus the fuel weight of 6.5. We're sitting at about 64.2. 64,200. Config 2, I think. Is that normal? I guess, yeah. Air conditioning on, NTI off. We're not going to force toga. So the flex looks like it's going to be 58. 146, 149. 58. 146. 149. And up 0.3. So 0.3. I think you have to put up first, no? It's going to be 2. Up 0.3. There it is. So that's in. I'll put that to that page. Sorry, this page, and then this will go to flight plan. Everything else seems like it's set as it should be. We are about ready for takeoff here. Thrust levers are still set at full. I just want to check and make sure that my keys are mapped correctly. Yes, they are. And we should have a tiller, which we do. All right, cool. So let's close everything up. Should I be concerned? Okay. They weren't latched closed. And we can get rid of the jetway. Right, there we go. Let's get the A320 checklist up here that I have, or should have on my tablet. Just as a guide. Alright, so preparation, batteries, lights, chocks, brake, wipers, anti-skid, landing gear levers, anti-skid is on by default, gear lever is down 3 green. Thrust levers are idle, the masters are off, and we're set to norm for the engine mode. Select the weather radar, spoilers, flaps, transponder. So weather radar should be off, which it is. TCAS, standby electric power aiders, ground control, cruise, supply, air conditioning, nav, logo lights, smoke signs, just seatbelt signs. Let's turn those on. Let's see if we can see them from the back. Yeah, they turn on. That's cool. Emergency exit, lights, ECAM, status, recall, radio panels, fire test, circuit breakers, gear, pins, covers removed. Before start, APU bleed on, barrel reference, fuel quantity, takeoff data, seatbelt signs, and to the line. Windows, doors are all closed, ground equipment. It looks like it's removed. Let's initiate the pushback here. I believe we are going to be, how are we traveling here, getting to the runway. Did it register that I was asking for pushback here? Where's the dispatcher? Or the ramp control agent? What are we waiting for? Departure clearance requested, waiting for other service to be completed. Ah, the GPU. Toggle GPU. And we can check the brakes here. Accumulation pressure is fine for some reason. So there he comes. We can get rid of the chocks as well.
We are ready for pushback.
So we're going to runway 02. Yeah. So we're going to push to the right, or facing right. Continuing with the checklist. External power is off and disconnected. Fuel pumps, can cam on now.
Departure checks complete. Bypass inserted.
Accumulator pressure is checked. Parking brakes on. I did see on the ECAM that it said was on. It is. I need to move that truck so it doesn't clip with the bus. Parking brake, thrust levers are idle. Transponder is on auto. Beacon lights on. So we're going to keep the transponder off for now, just because that's how I'm used to doing. Beacon lights can come on as we are about to push back. We are stand 116 and 443. TAP 443, stand 116 for runway 2. So we said nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Commencing
Beacons
push.
are on.
All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Lisbon traffic, Air Portugal 443, stand 116, pushing back, starting up for the taxi to runway 02, Lisbon traffic. All right. There we go. Start games in a second. Let's start number 1. So ignition and engine start. Are we going to listen from the outside or the inside first? Let's listen from the outside first. Look how the tire is compressing on the tarmac. That's so cool. That tire does not look like it's in good condition, right? Or is that just a label? That's it? Not a very beefy... Oh, here it comes. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're talking. I forget this is debows or something, so it cranks for a while before it actually ignites. Ooh, that sounds really good. Wow, it just keeps getting better. Oh, love it. Now the question is, how powerful are these engines? Am I going to need to taxi with one engine, or, you know, like, is it going to be a struggle to keep ourselves from overspeeding? Like the old NEO, or like the NEO of old here in Flight Simulator? I think let's try single engine taxi first and see what happens. We'll go back to norm there. Wait for them to disconnect here. I don't know why they're not oh, I need to put the brakes on. Yeah, I bet. Got a little distracted with the engine sounds. So just to review the taxi procedure, looks like we can jump onto this taxiway here in front of us. Yeah, so this should be mic 1. I think this is mic 2. The taxiway, the signs are facing me. There's one up ahead. Yeah, there's mic 1. So we'll taxi along mic 1. Find mic 2. Mic 3, mic 4. All the way to the runway there. Do the off to start checks here, just even though we only started one engine. Engine mode selected normal, APU bleed. We're going to keep on because we have only one engine running. Anti-ice is all flight controls. Actually, let me position them correctly here in front of me. I didn't do that yet. Okay, let's move the joystick closer for us. Tangle it from my mouse. Space is limited here. Alright. There he shows us the, well, gear pin and gives us the wave. We can tell him to wave back and see that he goes on his way. There he goes. Okay, so flight controls, yes. Should automatically go to the flight control page, but probably it's not doing that probably because I only have one engine running. We'll force it to go to the flight control page, we'll check. Manual up, down. Okay, flight controls are not working. Did I not set it? I don't think I set it. No, I didn't set it. My bad. Airbus. There we go. Apply. Go back. So let's go off this page and let's see if it will force it. Yeah, okay, it does. So full down, full up. This is why it's important to actually check your flight controls, even in a flight simulator. Full left and full right. Same with the rudders. You can just check to see what the animations look like here. Really nice. And let's drop. I believe it's 2 notches of flaps. Release the brakes. Okay, so for people wondering what that is, that's because I have only 1 engine running. So we're going to go get the hydraulics on here, and the PTU is pushing pressure to the yellow line. I think we can get that to not be a thing by turning on the yellow hydraulic pump. I don't know if it stopped because the flap stopped or if it stopped because I put the pump on. But let's see what happens. So we are flaps 2, correct? I believe that's what I was supposed to, that's what I planned it on, right? Here's the performance. Config 2. All right, brakes are released. We're not moving forward yet, so that's a good sign telling me that, you know, she's not super overpowered, but we're going to use our engine here. Throttle her up and see what happens. Keep it under 30%. Off we go. See once we get going if I really need to still use as much power from the engine. If I do, then I'm definitely going to start the other engine. Alright, so I'm just going to let everyone know what we're going to do now. Lisbon traffic, Portugal 443, Terminal 1, taxi 2, and holding short runway 02 via Mike 1, 2, 3, and Mike 4 to hold at 03 Lisbon traffic. Looks like this used to be a runway. They closed it for some reason. Yeah, I think we're struggling a little here with the single engine, so we're going to go ahead and start number 2. So good to know. She's not super overpowered like she was before, well, at this initial release. So starting number 2. Enter rotation. Ooh, that sounds so good. Oh, lovely. Looks like we're already getting some decent thrust from that engine now. I can come back on to idle with engine 1. Some Ryanair aircraft over there. Okay, we're moving now. brakes here. Running array a little bit. Engine 2, good start, available. So that goes back to norm. I go ahead and turn the APU off. Got some rudder authority on the nose wheel here, which is significantly less than with the nose wheel steering, which is what I consider accurate. Yep, looks like might have some air traffic control available at our destination. So let's just go ahead and jump back onto the checklist here. Yeah, now we're running away, so I don't know, man. Doesn't look great. So just to make sure my key bindings are correct, let's see if, yeah. What you call them, my thrust reverses are appropriately, or are key bound. The aircraft's running away from me here a little bit, so we're going to just come to a stop here and do the rest of our off to start checks and before takeoff checks and whatnot. Technically out before taxi checks as well. Stop. Alright, off to start from the top again. Parking brake, engine mode selector, APU off, anti-ice flight control, spoilers, armed, auto brake, max, flaps 2, rudder trim, pitch trim. So rudder trim is set to 0, pitch trim. Does it happen automatically? It doesn't look like it. It needs to be up 0.3, so we're going to just do that quickly. So there we go, we set that to up 0.3. Trim set. Brake pressures were monitored, checked. ECAM status, external lights. So just do the takeoff config test, which is normal. Before takeoff, cabin advised. Why is there only a forward and an off? Why is there not an all? Push and both doesn't sound like there's a tone for that. Exterior lights and then before takeoff. Alright, so let's do the before takeoff preparations here. We'll go to above, TARA, on. Doesn't go? Yeah, TARA on. The weather radar will say path weather, whatever that means. Let's just do our display for now. That comes on. And what else do we need to do here? Nothing else, I don't think. And then we can go ahead and turn on the landing lights, strobes, and make sure we're all behind us. Way. It's coming or going. Before takeoff, cabin, brakes, engine, mode, selector, packed, weather radar, TCAS, auto brakes, exterior lights, strobe, takeoff config, memo, and that's it. Let's go. Lisbon traffic, Airport to go 443, lining up, departing runway 02, Lisbon traffic. Yeah, she is a little overpowered still. I don't know if this is, you know, true to life, but I mean, she can barely taxi on one engine, but now on two, you know, we're basically running away. Oh, was that another aircraft coming towards me? Oh no, that's someone parked. Alright. Let's just so happen to remember to set the clock here. So that's great. Slow down for a turn here. We confirm that it is runway 02, so we are indeed on the correct runway. Ready to go and advance power to 50%. Wait for her to stabilize. She seems so stable. Let's go. That's it, really? SRS, runway, nav, flex. Wow, really only like barely 80% power. That's interesting. Alright, crosswind, quite a sizable one from the left. So just keep that in mind, but I think Airbus actually compensates for the crosswind for you. Or having to put in a little bit of right rudder here. Keep us from milling into that, or weather laning into that wind. As V1. And rotate. Those are quite a late V1. I don't know if we're underpowered or not. Oh, and look at service pack 15. Service update 15 working there as the crosswind tried to push our wing over. Gradually center our pedals. Stay positive rate of climb. Let's get back on the flight directors. So we can enjoy the views. I'm going to go right onto the autopilot immediately. Autopilot is engaged. Off we go. What? Bombed there? I didn't bomb anything. Ooh, still going up. There they are, close. There we go. Okay, flaps. I think we can bring the first notch of flaps up, and we can set climb power. Actually, more than takeoff power, interestingly enough. It's actually throttling up. Sounds great. Love the scenery, man. Portugal scenery is always so beautiful. That's why it's really tough on the frame rates. But I have the frame generator mod thing that seems to actually be making quite a good amount of difference here. Oh, there's the flaps up. Or flap 0 indication. Flaps coming up. And we continue climbing. We're going to go ahead and turn off the runway, turn off lights and those lights. Turning out. Over MPAD. Need to be over 3,000 feet, which we are. This is so cool. Very interesting.
Tracker 143, pushback facing south, stand 401.
Flying over an airport. I guess that's why they wanted you at least at 3,000 feet. Sounds good. Alright, I believe that's transition. Altitude is 4,000, yeah, so we can go to standard, standard, standard. Continuing our U-turn out towards the ocean. There's the airport we just took off from. Northerly facing airport. We're now making a U-turn to fly out to the south toward a sort of peninsula sort of outcropping the coastline here, and then at that point we'll make a right turn to the west out to sea toward our destination. We got very late. I was hoping to get there before the sun sets by me in reality. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Adjust our views here a little bit. That actually sounds good. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and disarm auto brakes. No, I mean the auto speed brakes.
This one traffic manner 48, feedback Charlie, pushing back from stand to 09.
Release the belts for the cabin and the passengers. There is there somewhere, and we taxied out along this way, took off, and made our U-turn. And there is the sort of peninsula type of coastline that I mentioned we were aiming for. So round about that point, we'll then make a right turn out to the west. Towards our destination. So it's 10,000 feet, we're above now, so landing lights will come off. We just want to make sure that the aircraft is indeed pressurizing. It looks like it is. We can double check by going into the pressurization page here. I have to say, very nice so far. There's nothing really missing as far as normal operations is concerned. You know, I'm flying her like I do the Phoenix, and I'm not finding myself in a situation where I'm, you know, missing anything. Like, it seems like pretty much all the basic functions are there, and she sounds great. She had a little bit funky on takeoff, but I'm not sure if that's because of the flight model or if it's just because of service update 15 and the new flight dynamics in Flight Simulator. We'll see. Go ahead and put that on to all. Everything else is on where it should be. We should actually be doing the after takeoff checks. So exterior lights are as required. The gear is up, no lights. Thrust levers are in fly mode. Engine mode selector should still be in normal. Weather disarm, flaps to zero, packs are on. Never off. Anti-ice are off. ECAM status checked. Nothing mentioned there. And exterior lights again. Above speed are as required. Power reference boat transition. Altitude is standard.
Yes, traffic as 143, taxi toting point by 5 to runway 02 via Lima 2 and Mike.
Maybe a lengthy-ish flight, probably about an hour and a half. I will possibly end the stream once we reach the cruise. I'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do want to save some time, so let's see if we can take a shortcut. Let's just go direct to Narta here. Why have I gone? Why is there no... Ah, interesting. That's an interesting... I'll change to the user interface. We're going direct to Narta. Very steep turn. That goes a little bit too aggressive. Alright, good news is so far we don't have too many strong winds up here, so hopefully no strong tips.
Traffic as 143, line up and wait. Runway 0.
Might be waiting. Alright, I'm gonna go make myself some coffee, so I'll BRB. I'll just double check the sound levels are still good with the engines now running at their flight setting. Looks like you guys are probably fairly able to hear me.
The traffic as 143, takeoff runway 02 via the exiting of Papa 6 November, Football Taxi. Obrigado, igualmente.
Obrigado.
Alrighty then. We're back. This time with some coffee. You'll have to excuse me if moving the mic out of the way of my mouth causes some interference. Love being able to see through these high bypass ratio engines. Great livery, by the way. Also looks like a really nice 3D model. Currently climbing through 33,200 feet. Ground speed of 475, which is amazing. We do have a slight tailwind. It's also amazing. Well, great. Maybe not amazing, but great. 22 quartering wind from the tailwind, sort of from the back left, blowing to the forward right. Oh, we actually have someone on our TCAS. Imagine that. All the way out here. Someone really close to our altitude. There they are. That's what I love about flying online, man. Super immersive sometimes. So I'm a stickler for sound, and I have to say I'm quite happy with them so far. I mean, if you consider that this is actually a free aircraft, it's excellent. Oh my goodness, I forgot this electronic pump on. All right, we are arriving at 37,000 feet. The belt signs are off. Interestingly enough, this guy is, yeah, I'm the one in the wrong here. I don't know why SimBrief assigned me 37,000 feet for this flight. That is very strange. Why on a westerly The optimal is actually 39,000, so we can go. I'm gonna take us up to 38. In all honesty, I can't remember what the correct way to do this is, but we're gonna go to 38,000. I'm gonna put it in there, and we're gonna bump it up another. I believe we push it in. Yeah. Climb. Still set at climb here. So we're going to drift slowly up to 38,000 feet because we are flying in a westerly direction. And some of you may have noticed that there was an aircraft back here that was at the same altitude as us, but flying in the opposite direction. And that's why we do not fly. Well, that's why there is this altitude convention that dictates that if you're flying in a westerly, and I believe it includes northerly directions, like those who are actually flying super northerly, like very close to due north, they'll fly at even flight levels, 38, 36, 34, that sort of thing. And the ones heading eastbound will fly the odd numbers. That's why we were matching altitudes with someone flying in the opposite direction, which is obviously a bad thing. Now we're at 38,000 feet, so we should be 1,000 feet above at least, or below someone flying in the easterly direction. There's someone here that's actually, looks like 2,000 feet below us, 2,500 feet below us. But they appear to be flying in the same direction as us. Trying to look out the windows. Oh, that's probably them over there. Are my views zoom so screwed up? All right, there we go. So we'll just keep an eye on this guy, but he is 2,000 feet below us. He doesn't look like it, to be honest. But 2,000 feet below us, so it should be no factor. Nevertheless, we will keep an eye on him or her. Let's not assume genders. So let's call up the Navigraph, in-game Navigraph here plugin. I haven't updated it, so I don't know if it's actually going to work properly. It didn't want to work properly the other day, but let's try it out. Also causes a lot of additional resources to be used here from the PC side of things. Looks like we've frozen. Fantastic. I don't know why I do that actually, because I do have the ability to show you the software version of it on my computer. So I'm just going to load that flight up quickly. So I don't have SimLink on because I feel like it causes crash to desktops. I mean, they conveniently stop when I stop using SimLink, so I don't like using that bit of software these days. So unfortunately you will not be able to see the position of the aircraft on the map. We'll have to make do. So let's see, how do I do it? Where is my Navigraph? There it is. And hopefully you'll see it. This is our routing. Portugal over here. Portugal's airspace extending out like this. And we're approaching, okay, we're not quite far still from Narita. We did a direct flight, so we're kind of probably around here somewhere. Making our way to Narita. which you'll see is sort of the boundary of this airspace over here. And then from north, we'll follow Uniform Zulu 14, that airway you saw me plug into the flight management computer, to Lidro. And then from there, we're going to have to decide what we want to do, right? Because initially we were runway 23, now it's up to 30 knots tailwind. And you can see it says not used. That typically indicates that there is going to be an air traffic controller online, or that there is an air traffic controller online. You can see VATSIM 1. We actually have an ATIS. It's Charlie at the moment, so they want us to actually use runway 05. Understandably so. You don't want to really be landing with the wind, especially when it's like over 10 knots and the runway isn't the longest and there is a sudden cliff or drop off at the end of the runway. This is one of the most picturesque runways to be landing at, or airports to be landing at. Here in, I believe it's called Funchal. So runway 05, which is thankfully the more, I think, more fun. Actually, I'm pretty sure I didn't select runway 05. I think SimBrief did that for some reason. Initially, when I planned my flight, it was for runway 05, because I remember that being the runway I like to land on. It's the one that you typically see the YouTube videos featuring. And then we will use the, yeah, I chose this approach before, so yeah, this was SimBrief that chose the wrong runway. We will use the RNAV 05 Pilim transition. And again, this is typically the approach that you see being flown in all the YouTube videos. There's the approach chart. Quite complicated in the sense that it's just a little bit more involved than your typical RNAV approach. I'm going to adjust my headset here. Okay. We've got the whole flight to study this. So let's have a look at it in the meantime. I'll pull it up here on my tablet as well so that I can just get a better look at it. As you can see, while we wait for my slow internet to catch up here, we're landing on an island. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a volcanic island at some point, or still is. But you can see we've got some quite tall mountain peaks here, well above 5,000 feet, almost 6,000 here. And the runway's sort of squeezed in here just on the coastline. And there wasn't actually enough space for this runway, so they had to actually artificially extend or create foundations to allow the runway to be extended, and for larger aircraft to be able to operate at this airport. I got the wrong chart open at on my tablet. Anyway, so I'll continue with the one on the screen here that you guys are seeing. By no means am I an expert at reading these charts, so bear with me. We have an RNAV procedure here. This should be a non-precision approach, if I'm not mistaken, because there is a visual segment, I think. But yeah, so RNAV, final approach course will be 049. be a mandatory altitude at 2,000 feet for the final approach. And RMP 0.1, I don't know what that means, but the decision height or altitude will refer to the minimums down here. I think we're at category, what category are we? I think we're a C, right? I have a spreadsheet for that, or a PDF rather. Yeah, I think we're like a category C. So Cat C, if I'm not mistaken. B and C should be 520. So just remember that we're gonna have to put that into our flight management system when we prepare for the landing. Excuse me. So we need to make sure that whatever the airport, the weather is that's waiting for us, we need to be able to see the runway. Bear with me, I live in the Middle East. It's very dusty here, and my allergies are just permanently shall we say, triggered. Anyways, airport elevation 191 at the, or on the runway, it's about 146. That's relevant for pressurization system, but that's automatic in the Airbus, so just monitor that. I think that means minimum safety altitude from Pilum. So, or using Pilum as the center of the circle. Any flights that operate in this sector between 209 and 024 magnetic bearing inbound to Pilum should not fly below 3,000 feet. It can be 2,000 feet or as low as 2,000 feet within 10 miles. This, I think, typically is what, 25 miles out? This circle? But as close to, you can see the footnote here. As close as 2,000 we can, or as close as 10 nautical miles we can go down to 2,000 feet. And anything on this side within these sectors accordingly, right? As low as 2,000 here, and as low as 8,200. So this will obviously be because of the high terrain. Otherwise, the frequencies you see up here are radio frequencies. Altitude setting, the unit we use will be hectopascal. Runway elevation, it's 5 hectopascal, I don't know what that means. Maybe, I don't know actually. Transition level will be determined by air traffic control. Position altitude 5,000. We'll probably, I like sort of going over to the local QNH by around 15,000 feet. So we'll use that as our, oh, we'll see. I don't know what air traffic control is actually currently online. So we'll see what he or she has to say. Then we've got RNP AR approach. RF is required. I think that's what, radio frequency? I don't know. Barrow, VNAV, not authorized below 7.5. So I'm assuming because when it gets really cold, the altimeter, there's a degree of error that gets introduced into the altimeter readouts. So you need to be able to compensate for that. I don't know how to do that. Either way, it says, I'm assuming this approach will not be authorized below 7.5 degrees Celsius as your altimeter will not be accurate enough to support or fly this procedure accurately enough. Speaking of the procedure, looks like we're going to hit Pilim, initial approach fix at 3,000, max 230 knots. We've got a little MSA diagram here similar to the one up there, but instead of for Pilim, it's for Monic. So for those aircraft that are proceeding to Monic, which we would do if we were to fly a missed approach, indicated by this dashed line. But for the initial approach, we'll be Pilim at 3,000, not more than 230 knots. Then we'll follow these points, setting at 2,000. We'll remain at 2,000 until we reach the initial approach fix. Correction, initial fix, I think that's what the IF stands for. Maximum 195 knots. So you can see here, maximum 160. We basically have to be configured for landing as we make this turn. So we'll configure early, just to allow us to be as stable as we can be on the approach by the time we need to actually take over. I need to stop saying the word actually and I believe. So once we reach the FAP, I think that's final approach point, maybe, we start descending toward the runway from 2,000. 3-degree glide path. We've got the various, I don't think the autopilot's going to fly this for us. I don't think it's that type of approach. So we'll use this table over here to determine how fast we need to descend to achieve this 3-degree glide path. So we'll probably be around 140 on the final approach. So that's about 750, 740 feet per minute descent rate. So we'll look out for that, or try and aim for that. And just as we cross these points, do the altitude checks, make sure we're around 1,200 at 520, 890 at 504, 390 at 502. We'll anyways be, before this point, we'll have to make the decision to continue or abort the approach, because 520 is essentially where our decision altitude is. All right. We've got an additional little diagram here that's not often seen on, charts, but I guess because of the terrain, it can get quite windy, and with the buildings and the mountainous terrain surrounding the airport or nearby the airport or adjacent to the airport, the wind can be quite gusty and irregular. You can see here, note number 2 mentions relative to the MID or Rosario anemometers, including gusts. I don't know, that's a footnote somewhere for 2. There, 2 here. So you can see wind limitations for landing relative to the touchdown anemometer. 2 minutes mean values only. Max permissible winds. So I guess that means anything 25 knots or above, or 20 gusting to 30, this is considered unsafe for the approach. You can actually have a look at the weather information. It's actually quicker to go via here. Oh, sorry. Here. Did they log off? It said no ATIS is available, but here's the ATIS. No real ATIS? No, we don't need ATIS, we need METAR. 10 minutes ago. VFR. Clouds at 1,600, so it's well above our decision altitude. And it's few, so quite a sparsely distributed layer of clouds. So it shouldn't affect our visibility. Visibility itself is excellent. Wind 02016. So it's moderate winds, not even gusting. So if we compare that to this table over here, it's well within limits. So for now, the weather is perfectly suitable for our arrival into the airport. So you can see, just to review the final segment of the approach here, we start our descent at 522. So you can see sort of on a base leg here, we're starting our descent. So we want to be configured before 522. So we can just essentially disconnect the autopilot and fly it by hand. Is the plan of action here. And that, I say, I reckon covers the approach. And we'll consider the approach briefed. Yeah, there's definitely, this person is flying in the same direction that we are, about 2,000 feet below us, which means they're at 360, the flight level, flying even in a westerly direction. So yeah, we're all complying with the rules of the road here. Smooth air for now. So we got 3-3. That's how this aircraft is configured. I believe these are LEAP engines. No? That's what NEO stands for, new engine option. These engines are significantly more efficient than the engines traditionally equipped to the A320 Airbus. You can also, apparently, there should be a bulge, and you can see there is a bit of a bulge here on the left side of the engine, and it's featured on both engines. So they don't make a left engine and a right engine. They are, I would guess, for, you know, efficiency, ease of manufacturing, the same engine. So you have the bulge on the same side, regardless of whether we're talking about the left side or the right side of the aircraft. That bulge, I think they say, memory serves, the accessory gearbox, or it's for the oil. I don't know. Navigation system, automatically tuned Sierra November Tango, VOR. That is not on the airport. It's actually on the island of Porto Santo, which is an island that we'll be flying over on our way to, actually on our approach into, how do you pronounce it? Is it Funchal or Funkel? Feels like it should be a rather rude word. I think I might have a GSX profile set up for a parking bay there. Just jump onto my little spreadsheet to double check. Yeah, I seem to have forgotten to put it into the spreadsheet. Very annoying. Maybe we'll be able to tell the difference. Jump onto SimAware. See what the traffic situation looks like, as well as the air traffic situation for us. Let's see if I can get you guys plugged into that. Do I not have a window for a browser? Oh, well, now I do. Actually, I don't want it to be a dedicated window. It'd be better to integrate it into the, let me just do that quickly. Will this work? Nope, wrong option. Let's remove that quickly. Display capture, maybe that will be better. And we shall call it browser. No, not even that. Capture method, no. Cancel. Feel like, alright, that's not what I'm looking for either. Window capture. Ah, there it is. Browser, window capture, there it is. Let's see if I can resize it. There we go. We'll just zoom in a little bit more for us. For you guys. Boom. So I don't know if you're going to see the mouse, but I don't think it matters. We are... Where are we actually? Oh, LPMA. Oh, so it's a tower controller that's online. Okay. So this should be us. There we are. Actually forgot to update my flight plan, but it's fine. Okay, we got a KLM in front of us. Weirdly enough, he departed from the UK instead of Amsterdam. Go figure. So he's actually at 35,000 feet. I'm at 38. So yeah, he was also given an odd flight level. I don't know why that's the case. If that's maybe the way it works here. Actually, it looks like that's the way it works here. Everyone's on an odd level. Interesting. Maybe I should go back to 37,000 feet. So here you can see our flight path. This guy is also flying the same departure. In fact, he's coming to LPMA along with us. Who's this little guy? Ghost, flying TBM. From Gibraltar to Lisbon. Very nice. TBM 9, so it's not the wonderful TBM 850 offered by what you call it? Just Flight. Alright, hope you guys saw that. I didn't see how it looked like on the stream. Yeah, maybe we should be flying at 37,000 feet. So we're going to come up to Rolar shortly. A good idea to maybe just do a quick fuel check, because I did input a higher cost index than planned, and yeah, I mean, I was going to say, and we're flying a lot higher, not a lot higher, but a bit higher than we planned as well, but that should actually not really hurt us too much, because if anything, it should make the fuel burn a little less. And incidentally, there you can see just off the Rolar will be our top of descent. So we're going to be descending very shortly, or soon, and this is pretty much probably why the FMC is telling us to input our destination information. While we do that, or while we're down here, let's actually input the new information. I need to just update my tablet here in front of me because that was not actually done. So we're going to be RNAV, I think it's the Zulu, right? Alright, my tablet is useless today. Okay, seems like it's, no, yeah. It's catching up here. Screw it. Let's call up the Navigraph chart here for you guys again. So as you can see, after Rolar, we'll start our descent. So it's the RNAV Zulu 05, RNAV Zulu 05. And it will be via the Pillen transition. Okay, wait, start again here. Arrival, RNAV Zulu 05, and the arrival is the Litro 1 Papa. Litro 1 Papa. Now we'll pop the via in Pillen. So RNAV Zulu for 05 via Pillen, the Litro 1 Papa arrival insert. So Rolar, Litro, now you can see there's no more discontinuity. And the entire arrival should actually be present in the FMC. So we're we can actually check that out here. We go to the plan mode, you can see it's nicely inputted and resembling the approach, the arrival here. Just call that up here, the chart, so we can actually show it again. But yeah, as you can see, there it is. Actually does look a little bit different. What are we, 526? Yeah, okay, it's just not curving around as nicely as it is in the chart. We'll see how that goes. Procedures loaded. And yeah, I actually, view is locked again. Just stand by here, excuse the thing. I just want to see if I can force it to unlock. Unlock, damn it. I refuse to let you. Alright, to spare you guys the rest of this, let's just go back to the splash screen. Not cooperating. Anyways. Alright, we can actually see some land out there. That should be the Porto Santo island I referred to. So yeah, it's getting pretty close now, and I want to actually take a leak here. Oh goodness, we're really close. I'm not going to be able to do it before then. Let's see, can we actually input our descent information here? Doesn't actually let me do it automatically. Let's call up the OFP and see if I can quickly do that. Can I do it? I've never actually done it in the the Airbus manually before, so at 200 it's the wind's negligible. Yeah, it's like 6 knots, 9 knots at the lower altitude, so we're not going to worry about it. That's barely going to do anything for us. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on the descent. So we'll initiate the descent and quickly run to the restroom, and I'll be back shortly after that. Oh, there's Rolar, just so by the way, we've just passed it. According to the OFP, our fuel, estimated fuel on board should be 3.6 tons. It's currently 3.4. That's a little concerning, especially considering that we took a shortcut. That could, as I said, be because we are using a higher cost index. Should actually give me... Yeah, there. So speed change, cost index 50. Yeah, we should only be using more, like 60 kilograms more fuel. Definitely not. And a flight level change up should, it says not available. Okay. Yeah, we shouldn't actually be using so much fuel, so I don't know why. Just double check. I don't think failures are modeled in this thing. Fuel flows even across the engines, and I don't believe there's a fuel imbalance, so we shouldn't have a fuel leak. That's pretty much identical. Slight imbalance here between the main tanks, so that's just because we ran the one engine longer than the other one. So, we still have an aircraft ahead of us, I think. I don't know what happened to him. Seems to have disappeared. Or he's just significantly lower than we are. We're going to just set it to, make it 9,000 initially. There is no approach controller. We have a tower controller. And I want to force tuning of the Funchal VOR. Just grab its, so it's fun. It's a 3-letter identifier. It's F-U-N, Foxtrot Uniform November. Oh, are we getting some turbulence? We'll code it into the second nav radio. Force it. Okay, there. We're about to reach the point of descent here, top of descent. We're going to initiate it. We'll see how aggressively she descends. The Phoenix Airbus can really take a proper nosedive, like I'm talking 4,000 feet per minute here. So there we go, caught up to the glide path here, increasing to about 3,000. Catch up, increasing speed. Barb pole's basically increasing at the same rate here. Okay, caught up to the glide path now, should start reducing the descent rate. And it does. Keep an eye on the airspeed here. Maybe it's going to ask for drag. Check approach section. Yeah, we're getting there. Not asking for drag. All right, so we've started our descent. Let me input the performance. So I think, we only have takeoff performance here. That's fine. Not much to it, I think. Oh man, I actually wanted to order my groceries during the cruise here. I got work tomorrow early. All right, so let's see. The progress page is similar to the Phoenix, yeah. 96 miles away. We'll have a listen to the ATIS as well at some point. We feel like getting a bit of... Is there wing flicks? Not sure. Looks like a little bit subtle. Yeah. Let's go ahead and turn on the seatbelt sign here. And she's really hugging the barber pole. Get performance in here, information. Alright, so we might as well listen to the ATIS. Which according to the chart is... Uh, 12163. Says departure ATIS, but doesn't show our arrival ATIS. Maybe I should be looking at the on-out approach chart. Has the sound gotten a lot louder? Really close to that barber pole. It's making me nervous. Alright, well, let's try and listen to this one. Not hearing anything. Sounds really gone really loud. 130355 according to that sim. So 130355. Very, very different to what the charts say. Here we go.
Sierra Airport ATIS Delta, 1,430 feet. Expect RNP approach, runway and use 05, transition level 60 on the ground, contact tower 124.660. Wind 020 degrees 16 knot, variable between 330 and 050 degrees, visibility 10 kilometers. Cloud. View at 1,600 feet, temperature 2.11 QNH 1018. Acknowledge LPNA information Delta. Madeira Airport ATIS Delta, 1,430 feet. Expect RNP approach, runway and use 0.
Madeira. Okay. So that was information Delta. I'm gonna go and put all that information into our computer here. 1018, I believe, is what was reported. Temperature of 2.5 now. Moving down. Wind 020 at 16. And that decision altitude we said was 520. We'll use config full. The VAP 129, so I'm gonna it's gusting. I don't think it said a gust, so I guess we could use 129. Yeah, 520 is the decision altitude. We're gonna also tune into the tower frequency here. 124660.
Information Delta.
And we'll keep the ATIS on standby there, and we'll also put the tower here. So when we're ready to talk, we can. Actually, yeah, we can try it. I don't want to mess with it. Well, we can actually try that out, I guess. 124660.
Portugal 680 Papa, confirm heavy.
Ready for departure, Juliet Papa.
Portugal 680 Papa, wind midpoint
that's on my
020
second
degrees, 1 for
navigation
knots,
radio.
variable between 310 and 040 degrees,
My goodness, I need to
takeoff.
Cleared
run
for
out.
takeoff, runway 05, Airport Go, 6 Juliet
I can't hold it anymore. We're gonna run out and I'll be back shortly.
Portugal 680 Papa, traffic information Bravo 738 at your 10 o'clock. Report visual.
Roger, looking for traffic, Airport Go, 6 Juliet Papa.
All right, things are happening very quickly here. We've got traffic at our 11 o'clock, same altitude. Looks like he's potentially climbing, or at least we're descending relative to him. Approach information has been inputted into the flight management computer.
Portugal 680 Papa, stop climb 4,000 feet.
Why
Stop
is he
climb,
giving
4,000
them
feet,
climb?
Airport Go, 6 Juliet Papa.
Why is he giving them climb instructions? He's a tower controller.
Approach runway and use 05.
All right, so I'm just going to announce that we are... Yeah, we're just going to go straight to the tower frequency here. I don't even know.
Airport Go, 6 Juliet Papa, we have a TCAS resolution, we are climbing.
All right, so it's probably not the best approach to be playing around with a new aircraft.
Portugal 680 Papa, traffic no factor, monitor Unicam 122.8. Boa tarde.
Everyone to take their seats.
Roger, Unicorn for Portugal, 6 Juliet Papa, obrigado pelo controle, até a próxima.
They said transition level was 6,000, so we're still okay. I'm going to continue descent. We're going to do manual descent here, and we're going to go down to 3,000. And I want to really start slowing down here. We can bring out some speed brake action here. And yeah, because we're really going at it here quickly. We got a lot of aircraft flying out of here, so this is why we want to be really careful. I guess we don't need to be going down so fast. We still need to be above 2,000 when we get there. At Pillim, we need to be at 3,000 actually. Well, it says above 3,000. Yeah, we could probably extend our increase our descent rate here. Probably would be for the best because we do need to get down and be configured by 526, right? 522. So yeah, let's get down quite quickly here. So I'll call the tower over Pilum. And it sounds like he's giving them instructions, like he's a tower controller, he shouldn't be giving them like vectors. Maybe he's just giving them traffic information. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty conservative with this approach in that I'm going to start slowing down really early and descending a bit lower than probably normal. Okay, we need to clear ourselves down to 3,000. But yeah, 526 we said we want as the initial fix. Definitely want to give ourselves a decent amount of time. So we're going to pull and go to 1018 for the local altimeter setting. Oh. Adair Tower, good afternoon. Air Portugal 443, information Delta, passing Pilum, descending through 4,200.
Air Portugal 443, moderador, muito boa tarde, report visual 05.
We'll report visual 05 next, Air Portugal 443. I don't know if that means... I think that just means that like we need to report when we're visual on the visual approach segment. Alright, speed brakes coming up. Don't anticipate we'll need them, so we're going to go ahead. Wait, why are my spoilers not coming up? Oh, wrong lever. Okay, there we go. We'll arm them. And I'm going to say let's use the medium auto brake just to be overly cautious here. Slow our descent rate down. Now we're coming up to 522, past 528. According to the... There's no speed restriction there apart from 230, which we're under. But 526, we need to be under 195. So we're going to go ahead and start slowing down here and configuring for the landing. Coming up to our first flap setting. Beautiful. Coming in nice and quick. Alright, first flaps can come down. I think that's just going to lower the slats. That's the leading edge of the wing here. They're coming down nice and slow. Oop. Getting bumpy, as this part of the world is known for. And we're going to go flaps 2. Go. So just to get through our descent checklist, TCAS, landing data, ECAM, barrow, external lights. Before landing checks, we'll hold on that one. We'll just let the people in the back know we're about to land. Oh, it does have a tone. That's cool. You can only hear from the back. Alright, so they all should know about it. I don't know when we're actually going to be doing the visual sector, but we'll just, when we're configured, I'd say, we'll just make the call. Nope, I don't know why I closed that. So, 522, remember that. That's when we need to start descending. We're at 180 knots, so we're below the 195 knot restriction at this point. So I reckon we can start reducing further. Let's get ourselves configured here. Let's go down to 160. I reckon we can drop the wheels now. Next bit of flap. All right, and we're gonna go with, I think it was one, what was that VREF here? We approached 129, so we can go as low as 130. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Final bit of flaps coming down. We are now officially configured for the landing. And we should start descending. We'll make it 500, limit it to 500, and we will start now at 130. We said we need to descend at about 700. Let's do that. There's the turn, and we'll start our descent. I will say that the co-pilot has the field in sight. Window visual with runway 05, Air Portugal 443.
Portugal 443, roger. Cleared visual approach, runway 05. Wind Rosario variable 8 knots. Touchdown 350 degrees 10 knots, gust 20, variable between 300 and 050 degrees, runway 05, clear to land.
Good for the visual approach, and copy the winds. Clear to land runway 05, Air Portugal 443. Alright, so I don't know, I'm getting a fuel warning, which is a little concerning. We'll have to investigate that a little bit later. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the autopilot, fly the rest of the way ourselves, but I feel like the speed is good. Got a good angle of attack. Continue in visually here. Got the lead-in lights in front of us. Just want to make sure you are hearing me. Yeah, my mic is on. That's a vertical guidance there for us, and I wonder if this thing would have been flyable with the autopilot. Anyways, where's the fun in that? Or continue
1,000.
visually. 1,000 feet, we're stable. Winds are variable a bit. Feel we're getting hit by a little bit of shear here. Yep. Start using the rudder pedals here to help us out. Terraforming happening here live in front of us. Start our turn onto the final approach. We are cleared to land. Using the flight directors to guide us on how steep the turn needs to be. Auto throttles handling our powers, engine power. We're getting a little bit low. I think we're hitting a bit
Minimum.
of a downdraft. We're full red on the one side, one right on the other, so I'm going to keep going. Minimum. Land
400.
We're still good, a little bit low, but I am visual. One white, still good. And continue in. What's that thing floating around the runway there? Coming up on the glide path here again. There is for some funky wind.
200.
There it is.
150. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Bit firm. 2 reversers. Those will down. Medium brakes. There's 60 knots. Idle reverse. Reverses off. And we'll disconnect the auto brakes. Welcome to Madeira. I think we need to make a U-turn. That's Bravo coming up, actually, so I don't think so. thought I put the parking stand chart in front of me here. This is Bravo, according to that. According to charts, we don't have to make U-turns here. Made a quite an aggressive stop here. Like I said, just to be a little overly cautious.
Portugal 443, welcome to Madeira. Vacate via Bravo, stand Alpha 8.
Vacate via Bravo for stand Alpha 8. And Portugal 443, thanks. Got a bit of a downhill coming up here. Let's just turn off our transponder. Braking to cushion the nose wheel here as we hit the bottom of this downhill. I want to just turn my weather radar off as well still. I'm going to bring the flaps up while we're at it. Throw ourselves down. We're going to do the chrono for a 3-minute countdown as to when we're allowed to turn the engines off. Cool down period for the engines. And then also what we can do is, should do is get the strobe lights off. We're going to turn all the lights off. We're going to probably turn into our parking bay very soon here. And bring the spoilers down. Yeah, see, we're cruising for a bruising here. Let's see if the GSX default profile is good enough here for us. So we'll just say no. Portway is 09 is coming up here. I'd like to turn the one engine off to make it easier for us to, you say Alpha 8, right? Hope so. Our lights are off. I'm gonna go and turn in. And see, we've got a parking marshal up there ahead of us. Keep an eye on him. It says keep going forward. Alright, we're close to where we need to stop. Wait for the X. And there it is. Brakes on. And again, we just want to make sure we're at the 3-minute mark before we turn off our engines. While we wait, gonna get the APU running, which I should have done a little bit earlier. Again, waiting for that flap open light. He says we can cut our engines, which we will do so in a minute or so. Yeah, buddy, we're getting there. Just wait. Need to get my APU running. Alright, APU coming on. So we should have done our after landing checks and before landing. So the before landing was gear, flaps, spoilers, auto brake, mode selectors, lights, go around altitude. So we just forgot the go around altitude. Everything else was done before landing. Brake fans are as required. We can probably, I mean, they typically are on auto, but we're just going to put them on for fun. Exterior lights, strobes, anti-ice flaps, spoilers, engine mode selector, weather radar, TCAS, APU is coming on. We're just waiting for the available. It's going through its 50%. And we are about the 3-minute mark. There it is. We're going to go ahead and turn off number 2. While we wait for the APU to spool up. There we go. Available. Turn on the bleed, and we can turn off the other engine here. Now we have a alternative power source ensured. Engines are spooling down. Not the best parking job but it will do. Alright, so beacon lights off and the shutdown checklist, park check, exterior lights, brake fans, parking brake, engine master, beacon, fuel pumps coming off. Seatbelt signs, those are all going to come off now. Transponders off, chocks, parking brake, electric power APU bleeds. So you go ahead, tell them to be board. And we will get the GPU and the chocks going. Because it's probably a sound sensitive airport and the temperature isn't too bad, we're going to go ahead and turn the APU off. Oh shit! I didn't clock into the external power, my bad. Oh well, not a big deal. We're done with the flight. Would have just lost power briefly. There you go. We're connected to the power generator outside. I forgot to do that first before turning off the APU while we had a little power interruption period there. No biggie, it was very brief. And yeah, here comes the bus. Thanks to anyone that may have joined me for the stream. This was the first impression flight for me concerning the Inibuilds A320 NEO. I have to say, love it. Obviously, it would be unfair to directly compare it with the Phoenix, but even so, I have to say, comparatively speaking, this aircraft is excellent, especially if you consider that it is for free. I don't know if it's only for the Flight Sim Deluxe owners or if it's for everyone. I think it's for everyone. Don't quote me on that one. But yeah, even compared to the Phoenix A320, I have to say, all the essential. I will admit, right? I don't like the default aircraft. I prefer flying aircraft that have been, you know, meticulously reconstructed or simulated to be as accurate to the real thing as possible. It's the main reason I struggle to fly the ATR, even though the ATR isn't freeware. It still feels a little too defaulty for me, although I haven't flown it in a few months now, so I don't know if the latest version is much better than what I remember it being. But yeah, there's still some hybrid, you know, how can I put it, like hybrid add-ons. You know, the collaborative Asobo aircraft that still feel a little bit too close to default than they do, you know, quote-unquote high fidelity, like the Phoenix and the PMDG aircraft. But like I said, regardless or despite that, this aircraft, even being freeware, is, I would say, anyone that would love to fly the Phoenix but they feel like it's just a bit out of their budget, by all means, I think you will have almost as much fun, if not just as much fun, with this aircraft as you would the Phoenix. Obviously, Again, Phoenix, a lot more in-depth. You have your failure systems and wear and tear modeling in place with that aircraft, as well as a much more detailed and in-depth EFB. Sounds are obviously amazing in the Phoenix aircraft, and you still have the 2 engine variants. So yeah, there's obviously a lot more on offer for the Phoenix. So I'm not saying by any means that this aircraft is equal to the Phoenix, but it comes very close second to the Phoenix. And I think for a freeware aircraft, that's saying a lot. I enjoy this aircraft much more than the Inibuilds A310 that comes with the simulator. For that reason, I had a healthy level of skepticism before flying this aircraft. I have to say, very well done to the Inibuilds team. She sounds good, looks good, and flies good. Ticks all the boxes for me, especially with the latest flight model in after the service update 15.
Good afternoon, Madeira Tower, Portugal 3801.
I need to do some more,
current information echo.
I need to investigate a little bit further.
Portugal 380, Madeira Tower, muito boa tarde.
I need to investigate a little bit further in terms of manual handling characteristics. So I need to do a little bit more flying with the other aircraft in the simulator, especially non-fly-by-wire aircraft, just to gauge just how much the handling differs. But already I can say, you know, with crosswinds, you can definitely feel that wing into the wind wanting to lift after departure. You kind of have to counteract that. I felt like I think they said Airbus automatically does that for you, although I felt like the wing definitely lifted and required some action from my flight controls to keep the plane level. So I don't know if that's a NEO thing or a service update 15 thing. But either way, it's still super fun to fly. And yeah, if the handling characteristics indeed are better and more realistic in Flight Simulator 2020, then yeah, I can start really look forward to hand flying aircraft going forward. You know, like I said, my criteria to judge aircraft, they gotta look good, feel good, and sound good, not necessarily in that order. And where Flight Simulator aircraft, FS2020 aircraft specifically, have fallen short. It's always been on the feel good aspect. Rarely did the aircraft feel good, especially the lighter you go with the aircraft, the worse they feel. But so far, I'm feeling like the handling characteristics are improving. So yeah, looking forward to doing some more general aviation flights in the near future. But for now, thanks again to everyone that has been supporting the channel, the few of you that might be out there, and to anyone that might have joined me for this stream, thank you. I am experimenting with recording my flights offline, at least not streaming, but while flying online, in an effort to start my review series. I'm going to try and make the review, I think I'll review the TBM 850 first from the Black Square guys, and work my way up to the heavies as I go along with that. Apparently there's another aircraft coming into land, so I think let's position the camera here. Ooh, there's a flight deck over here. I mean, a viewing deck over here. That's quite cute. Position ourselves a little bit better to see our aircraft, and hopefully we'll be able to see the other aircraft coming in. So again, thank you to anyone that may have joined me for today's flight. I hope you'll catch me in future streams. For now, we're going to leave things where they are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, and cheers.
Passengers buses home.
Lovely. Clipping through all the ground clutter there. Why 2 buses? Oh, okay. I know my mic is on, by the way. All right, thanks again, and cheers.